Hi, this is Steve for TrueHollywoodTalk.com. We're with kind of Ginita. She's kind of a sexy producer type hanging out here at the Palm Springs Film Festival. Welcome to True Hollywood Talk.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I still love that British accent. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's why I'm such a Hugh Grant fan. But just tell me, you're from the UK. What made you become a producer? And how'd you come here? I guess you got a film here called The String. Give us your background.
String, I decided to produce because I really like the story. I decided to become a producer because, again, I love stories and wanted to be working in a team with people and who are passionate about storytelling and filmmaking. String was a very interesting little quirky short which was brought to me by the director Naomi Wright, who's an English woman. She works in television, and it's about a man on his way to work who finds a piece of string on the floor, and on the end of the string there's a note that says, "Follow the string for happiness." So of course this man, who's a little bit of a nerd, I'd say, from work, thought, okay, I'm going to go for it. So he picks up the string and he goes around the corner and the string continues and it becomes a ball, and a really big, sort of bigger ball, much bigger ball, and it takes him to all sorts of places. You know, he falls into a canal, he scales down a building. I mean, I'd ruin it for you if I told you what the end was, so you actually have to see, everyone has to see the film. But it's 10 minutes and really a charming, entertaining, light and global story about following what you believe in and not letting go and being very, very determined, but also having a really good sense of humor.
So how much do I have to pay you to get my own string? Just tell me.
That would be priceless, you know that.
Wow, it's priceless. He's quoting the MasterCard commercial. So here at TrueHollywoodTalk.com, we're giving MasterCard a free plug. Remember that next time you send me your credit card bill. You seem like a lovely lady. Where's your home now? Are you you said the word global citizen, and I really like that. Where do you reside now?
I reside in the south of England, in Brighton. I produce TV documentaries, observational ones, and environmental ones, and I travel a lot. So I'm a bit of a nomad. I've always been. I grew up in Spain. I'm half Spanish. I lived in England. I travel a lot. So I'm not residing any particular where. I feel at home sometimes when I'm out on the road, which is rather strange.
This reminds me of Anthony Hopkins, who says he likes to get in a car and drive like 1,000 miles to get a cup of coffee. So we've got this sexy nomad here at TrueHollywoodTalk.com. Reminds me of like a Sagittarius type of personality. So what is the next thing on the road for this nomad? Okay, stay away from Los Angeles though, okay?
I've stayed away from Los Angeles. In fact, I've gone planetary. I've gone way out from the world. That's too small, and I've decided to produce and direct a short 10-minute documentary about the woman that named the planet Pluto in 1930 when she was 11. She's still alive. She's 89. And she managed to see the planet for the first time on her 89th birthday, which was a couple of months ago. And it's a stunning, really, really beautiful, lots of graphics, incredible people were involved and attached to it for free, may I add, just because they really wanted the story to be documented. So that's next. That's just been finished. You can go online to see a little excerpt of it. And we'll see if I'll be here next year with it. Who knows?
There's something likable about this lady. I can't really explain it. She kind of reminds me of like an old soul character floating around in modern times. We have to do a past life regression on you one of these days, okay? But what I want to find out from is, where did this love of film come from? And it seems like a desire to do good work and spread good messages.
Well, that's a very powerful, fully charged question there. Happy to do life regression. I am a Libran, first and foremost. And I think because of that, I tend to see both sides of the story and want to tell both sides of the story and ask people to make their own decisions, because us Librans, of course, are dreadful decision makers. But maybe that's what makes me slightly unique. I love films and I love stories, and they can be incredibly moving and life-changing and thought-provoking and move the soul. And that's a good thing. And I am an old soul.
Why did you name your company Father Films? We're getting into some deep issues here. Because, you know, Lindsay Lohan, they dropped the cocaine charges. We wish you well. I want to hang out with Ginita, okay? So tell me, how'd you come up with the name Father Films?
Thank you very much for asking actually very intelligent questions and raising the Lindsay Lohan line, which we'll quickly park. The reason why I named my company Father Films is because I don't believe that there's a greater role in life than being a father. I'm not a father. You are. Perhaps you'll agree that it really is responsibility, and to be able to create good examples, to lead, to advise, to inspire. And I think father films would very much like to encompass that, which is inspire a team of people, lead and do positive things, and also, of course, from a financial side, is to be able to be responsible and to make the right decisions, and lead a family, and create a good spirit, to be creative. I'm not sure whether I'll ever be invited to LA, and I think it's a very tough and fickle world. But there are like minds out there.
Well, I live in the LA area. You're always welcome to come. I just want you to know, because we need people that are out there trying to do good work. I'm very impressed by the level of films here. We're seeing more creativity, quite frankly, than some of the big studios, because the big studio model to me is, let's get a name. Who cares if the script sucks? Who cares if the story sucks? So what they do is they put a Nicole Kidman in an invasion, and they spend $100 million, and the movie makes $2 million, and that's why Time Warner stock is $12. I used to be a financial planner. And then you got a guy like Judd Apatow, who's making movies like Superbad. He's not using name actors, but he's got terrific stories, and I like what you're talking about. If you have good stories, you don't need famous actors. What's your take on that?
I agree with you. Again, the famous actors, it is a business, and you have to put bums on seats. That's a classical line. But good actors, or good people, let's say, want to be attached to a heart-telling story. And if you look at the greatest films of all time, they have had an emotional line. People have wanted to be attached to them. The script, of course, is the core and paramount body. And if there is a good script, most good actors will attach themselves to it. But it's a harder fight, and it's definitely worth it. It's just a question of education, changing people's thought processes, and championing the film and completely believing in it passionately. And if you, as I said, you find the right minds, the right collaboration, you can really make something that's life-changing for people when they watch it. So they're watching good films and good stories, and true stories as well. As I said, I work on documentaries, and there should be more documentaries, because how can we extract any learning from anything that is fictional? To a certain extent, a true story is a lot stronger, it's a lot more powerful. So I'd love to see more documentaries in the world.
Well, Ginita's doing pretty well, because I'm not doing a lot of talking, which is usual, okay? Let me ask you this. Who are some of the films or filmmakers that you idolized growing up as a kid that said, I want to be a filmmaker? For me, I remember this little film when I was a kid called The Red Balloon. And it wasn't even any dialogue in the film, but I never forgot it. So what were some of the films that said, wow, I'm really turned on by this medium?
Well, we have definitely met in another life, that's for sure, because I cannot believe, of all the thousands of millions of films you could have actually mentioned, you mentioned The Red Balloon, which has some association with string. People, when they watch it, feel that it's got that vibe. There's very little script in it, and it really is moving images that tell the story. So I'd really encourage you to watch String because of your mention of The Red Balloon. It would take me half an hour to explain my influences in terms of films. I'd have to say that David Putnam, for me, is very much a person who, although he's not making films now, has made some of the greatest films. And the English core of directors as well, your Hitchcocks. The Hispanic directors, I think, because of course my heart is in Spain. Fernando Mereyes, Alejandro Iriartu are incredible storytellers. So I think we need to have another session of you and I at some other stage, so that we can give someone else some more platform. But I'd be happy to continue the conversation at another time. Thank you so much, Steve.
Well, I got to thank Ginita for coming on TrueHollywoodTalk.com. She's an old soul, she's interesting, she's gorgeous, and I got news for you. She's going to fit in anywhere. This is Steve for True Hollywood Talk. Thank you.
Thank you.